we're back for week 2 of Satday Sessions, Fanbabble Sports' first video series, really. Different guys this week in the chairs. Obviously, you've got me, Jared, we're from Circle and Rectangle, and Benny and Scotty from Chat from the Back. Totally different. Last week it was Benny and Scotty from Chat from the Back and Jamie and Nugget from C&R Show. So just mixing it up for week 2.
How are we, lads? How are we?
Yeah.
Oh, not too bad.
Not too bad myself.
Very good, very good, very good.
As it is Satday Sessions, crack open a can of whatever we feel like drinking.
How good is day drinking?
Yep, when you got to go to work, it's even better.
Hang on a minute, don't you work in the public sector?
No one knows what I'm drinking.
No, that's not allowed to do it.
Wait, that's red Budweiser.
Oh, they come in cans?
Budweiser Light.
I'd go with a Budweiser in a can, to be honest. Or a Bud Light.
You fucking disgust me.
Bud Light in the aluminium bottles.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind
You
that.
people disgust me.
I used to drink Budweiser bottles. I just thought they were the best beer. So
Yeah.
I'm a Carlton Dry fan. So getting into the sports, I guess we'll start with the NFL returning. Yesterday for us here, Cowboys going down to the Bucks. Brady can still sling it at 44 years of age, but you know the Cowboys were eight-point outsiders and they come good. Should have won it, to be honest, offensive pass interference right at the death, but it's good to have football back. College football, NFL's back. It's summertime in Australia.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to, I think, my boys Steelers run at like 3:30 on Monday morning, so early get up, but yet again, I may just not go to bed.
All I know is that the NFL is back, and I'm looking forward to my one NFL game a year that I watch, and that is the Super Bowl in February. I don't know how.
I'm with Nugget on that.
Yeah, I don't know how, but miraculously, I always seem to have that Monday off. Even when I was working, I would somehow get that Monday off. Like, I remember one time going to a job, getting there at 7 a.m., thinking, fuck, I'm going to miss the Super Bowl. This is very disappointing. And then the material not arriving, so I'm going to the pub. It just works out. So Super Bowl Monday is a thing here. My favourite time of the February. And that's my excitement for the NFL.
I haven't worked or gone to school on a Super Bowl since I was like 15. So the genius of chucking a sickie or just booking a day off in advance.
So I don't work Mondays with my job, so like, I'm sweet that way. But even when I was at school, I remember with the Super Bowl, we used to find ways through the block sites, and we just bring up NFL.com and just like watch the game score tick over. And
it is legit one of the biggest sporting events on the planet every year, and you know it's not a major sport here. It is growing, but I can't get it. I like college football more. I'm a national championships type of guy, but you know the Super Bowl is good. Patriots are going to be there again this year with Mac Jones,
I love the fact that Super Bowl day here is now actually being referred to as Super Bowl Monday. Like it's actually starting to get traction as that, like, which is amazing. Like,
to be fair, I don't think it's more or less the fact that it's the Super Bowl. I think it's just a chance for Australians to day drink and gamble.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's widely celebrated over here, not the fact that football's on.
So like any other sort of holiday.
Yeah, any other American sporting event for us is just, hey, we can day drink here.
Yep.
Do you want to have a drink during the day?
Always.
Here's an American sporting event.
Yeah.
Moving on from that was a quick one. Brady's the GOAT. We'll start with the NRL final last night. Melbourne Storm absolutely beating the shit out of Manly. Benny, your bog, you predicted it to be a nice close one.
I got that so wrong.
Yeah, Melbourne.
I honestly thought that would be a tight game. I thought Manly would be a lot sharper, a lot better. But I don't know. Like, I didn't catch much of the game. I was sort of flicking between that and the other game that we'll touch on after this. But yeah, like if you saw my blog, I thought it was going to be like 14-8, 12-8. Like
12-8 was your score, yeah.
12-8, yeah. Thinking a nice close one, but from what I saw as well from the 15 minutes I watched while I was making dinner, Manly seemed to just roll over and let it happen.
Yeah.
Yep. Shout out Peppers.
Good boys, man.
I did say one fumble from Melbourne. That was absolutely atrocious, though.
Oh, is that the one that led to the try?
The kick from 20? Yeah, that was hilarious. Vunivalu, what are you doing, mate? Pick the ball up.
No, it wasn't Vunivalu. He's gone. That was no. Who was it?
It was It was backline. I remember that.
Lumi. Used to play for the Sharks.
Silly bugger.
Household name.
Lumi was silly.
But yeah, Manly got a lot to do next week going into the knockouts. Melbourne just look like they're going to do
What
it
was the
again.
final score, by the way? I didn't actually watch it.
44
40 to 12.
40 to 12, yeah.
Yeah, because Melbourne got a 2-point field goal right at the death.
No, you got to practice.
Ah,
them
the
when you
old
can,
Greg
right?
Inglis rule. I like that.
Yeah.
What a
Well, that's the thing.
I like-
It's legitimately a 2-point field goal now. Like, it's crazy.
Only because of Greg Inglis.
Yeah.
How many poor math skills?
Look, I'm not a massive NRL supporter. I mean, I used to be, but I've grown away from the sport. How many 2-point field goals have been kicked since that rule was introduced?
3 or 4?
Yeah.
3 or 4?
Adam Reynolds has kicked a couple.
And he kicked one that's right on half time earlier in the season that pretty much won him the game.
Yeah. And you can't blame Nugget for not being a league fan. He is a Bulldogs fan, so
Yeah.
it's been rough.
Hey,
Yeah.
they ended the season well last week against the
They
Tigers.
did.
That was a big win. That was a very big win. Oh, that was the only game I've watched this year.
Well, see, you should watch it more often. They win on your
No,
watch.
absolutely not. I hated
So-
every minute of it.
It's like I messaged you earlier in the year when the Tigers and the Bulldogs played like a month prior, Jamie. It's the battle to see who's the memest club in the NRL.
And
And
it
that
is
will-
still
that-
the Tigers.
That title will always go to the Tigers. As people from Campbelltown, me and Jamie know Tiger supporters all too well, and they are a meme. They are an absolute
Yes,
meme.
they
There's
are.
nothing will beat the Tigers and their meme territories.
A nice day out at Campbelltown Stadium will show you that.
Yeah.
AFL side, my Geelong Cats absolutely belted, whooped, harassed by Melbourne. On chat from the back this week, I was very confident that we'd get the win. We kicked the first goal, so that was something.
I mean, and the game.
Yeah.
That was
golden
something, yeah.
point. Who cares?
Donald Trump style. Just
We-
stop
we
the
didn't-
count.
We didn't kick many from that point on. So I think, what was it, 135 to 42 or something? 125-42. I was working, so I
I
didn't
don't know,
get
it
to
was
really
like
watch much,
83-point difference at the end. Like,
yeah, they-
and you know what? I think I was talking to someone a couple of weeks ago about Melbourne, and I said I think they're almost. I wouldn't say they're certainties to take it out, but I think it'll take something special to stop them in the grand final. And it was just after they beat Geelong in the final round to win the minor premiership. And they said to me, "Oh no, that was Melbourne winning their big game." Oh, I stick by what I said then. For me, that wasn't them winning their big game. That was them showing everybody they can win big games.
That was just basically showing the world. As I sort of said in my AFL blog that on the Just MB show, I thought we could win. I was really hoping, like you said, Benny, that was their grand final, but that was just their way of saying we can win the big games now. Like this is a real deal with Ben Brown up front, Petrarca through that midfield, Viney doesn't get mentioned at all, but he does everything right through a game, and he just does the right job. They were just really good. And
What about Max Gawn?
Yeah, the playing on from a ruck incident and snapping a goal. Like, how does a man that's 6'9" do that shit?
How do you lose track of him like that?
Yeah.
How can you lose track of a ruckman like that to the fact that he can kick 6 goals in a prelim final?
Mate,
or 5 goals or whatever it was.
Did you just say someone lost track of a man that is 6'9"?
Yes.
Is that even possible?
Yeah.
I don't know. Ask
Stanley
Geelong.
did it a few times.
How do you miss a tree literally moving?
Yeah, and moved quickly and picked the ball up off the floor to snap a goal from 40-something meters out. Mate,
And what was it?
impressive.
I think the biggest letdown for Geelong last night, though, would have to be Gary Rowan.
Yeah, very quiet. Very
Did
quiet.
he even get a touch?
I know at the third quarter he hadn't had a touch yet. He'd been in a couple of contests but not got to the ball. But
Honestly, he may as well have just sat in the stands and just watched the game as from the crowd, because that's pretty much all he did. But
Well, that would have given them a total grand crowd total of 2. So he should have.
it was a good crowd.
It was like nearly 60,000, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was a sellout, but you got to account for staff and shit like that.
Yeah.
WA's bullshit rules. But yeah, season over. No back-to-back grand finals to lose in for the Geelong Cats.
Good man.
I think Melbourne will. I think Melbourne will win it.
Who are they going to play?
Port Adelaide. For
Port?
sure, yeah. Western Bulldogs grand final was last week. We talked about it on chat from the back.
Yeah.
They put everything into getting that comeback to beat Brisbane in Brisbane, and yeah, Port will run away. Probably a 30-point win, not 80 like it was for the Cats, but yeah, it'll be Port versus Melbourne, and I think Melbourne will win it. To be honest,
Yeah.
they were very fucking good through that middle of the field. Hard to stop. So yeah,
Yeah, it's.
sucks.
And what was it they were saying after the game last night? Like, who was like trying to? They didn't even come up with an answer. But look at Ben Brown. He was with North Melbourne, who's won the Wooden Spoon, and they said, "Oh, you're not good enough for us," and he's now playing in a grand final.
And look, he hasn't played all the games. He's played 11, I think.
Well,
But he's kicking goals.
Goodwin even said he's going to be one of the best 22. Just have to give it time. They've given it time, and he's come in and just taken Melbourne to that next level.
He's a character too. His run up for a set shot kick is amazing. It's about 150 meters long and takes about a minute. So yeah, he put us to the sword early. We kicked a goal, and then they went on and kicked 5 straight, and he kicked 2 of them. So, and he was in everything. He was, getting the marking contest, bringing the ball to ground so that the little guys could get around and snap it. So, credit to him. They absolutely deserve their spot in the grand final. No one can say the umpires cost us. I can say Scott Selwood was off.
Joel Selwood.
Joel, sorry.
He played like Scott. He played pretty bad last night.
He played like Scott, yeah. Hawkins was off, missing that first shot at goal. That was disappointing. And Rowan just not really showing up at all. Probably shouldn't pay him.
But the thing I thought was karma was there was a moment, I can't remember, I think it might have been Viney, sort of dropped his knees and fell into a tackle and got caught high, a free kick. I think it was against Selwood or Selwood was there. And Selwood turned around and put his hands up and was complaining to the ump. In my head, I'm just thinking, you've made a career of doing that. This is how it feels.
Yep. Yeah.
It was karma.
The king of sliding the shoulder up and winning the high tackle. So
yeah,
moving on. I don't want to talk about AFL anymore. It sucks. Two into the grand final. So, Monza this weekend.
Look out for that fan babble watch along of the AFL grand final.
Oh God, maybe next year if we're back there. But I think
you can fucking suffer with the rest of us.
The rest of us, it's better than the NRL grand final.
You made the finals. My boys missed out on percentage, and a stupid loss to Adelaide.
And we were in the grand final last year. We've won a few in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll want to see at least one in my lifetime.
You made a grand final. 2, actually, if you count the draw and then the loss.
3.
He's sure, mate. He's sure. The most iconic moment of that grand final. Chasing that ball down and smothering on the line. Unbelievable player that went on to star for the Giants.
I still blame Steve Milne. He could have got that ball and popped it through and we would have won a flag.
It from 20 metres out, Easily won that game. But, you want to be a showboater, go all the way to the line and kick it into their fans. He sure says no.
Yeah.
Moving on, Monza this weekend, probably one of the best Grand Prix on the calendar. Moving on from that shit show that was Zandvoort last week. Sprint qualifying session was done last night. 2 Mercedes on pole with a McLaren on the second row. I think it's Lando Norris with Daniel Ricciardo.
Lando Norris who finished 6,000th of a second ahead of teammate Daniel Ricciardo. And it's good to see Ricciardo getting some pace in qualifying now.
Yep.
He's been lacking a lot of pace this year in the McLaren, but it looks like he's trying to turn that around. Big surprise, Valtteri Bottas, who is moving to Alfa Romeo next year on the front row for pole position for the sprint race tonight. Is that just middle finger to Mercedes going, hey, I can still drive this car?
Yeah.
Or was it the brand new power unit? We don't know.
I mean, he's a good driver. He's just not consistently as good as like George Russell will be. I think, to be honest, Lewis will get him off the start. Valtteri's not great at starts. He's had a few this year where he's struggled.
I think Verstappen will get him off the start too.
Oh yeah, no surprise. Verstappen's the best in the field when it comes to the starts. But I think, parity will be restored. It'll be a race between Verstappen and Hamilton. If Bottas can block Verstappen for even 2 or 3 corners, it might help Lewis out a lot. But sprint qualifying is weird, man. Like, you're not allowed to call it a race, but it's clearly a fucking race.
Yeah.
Qualifying yesterday on a Friday, so George Russell can't be good because he's missed a Saturday, not missed a Friday. So it just throws everyone all over the shop. But it's
the thing about this sprint qualifying too is Valtteri Bottas is starting on pole for that, but for the race come Sunday, he will be starting from the back of the grid because he will be taking an engine penalty. So will he just try and block Verstappen off the start to try and give Hamilton at least a decent enough lead so guarantees Hamilton pole, or will he go, fuck you, I'm doing it anyway?
Who knows with him, man. Bottas is a bit of a fuck you type of guy. A lot of the memes this week of him just sticking his fingers up to the camera when it's like, hey, Valtteri, we need you to back off this fastest lap. So,
fuck you, James.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Do you boys watch the Formula One?
No, not really.
Not really. If there's nothing on, I will.
Yeah, it's
a shitty times for Australia, I guess, but
can be. But look, next year's will be good. You got a lot of driver movement already. As mentioned, Valtteri Bottas going to Alfa Romeo in the midst of Kimi Räikkönen and a fellow Finn retiring. The Iceman finally hanging up the helmet. Big news was George Russell taking Bottas' seat at Mercedes, which is well deserved. Should have got a fucking podium with him last year, but. and then Alex Albon returning to F1's with a Williams seat, which is Mercedes owned, which is a bit of an interesting story considering Albon is a Red Bull driver.
Apparently, they've severed the contract, so he was all fine. That was the
Good.
only thing that Toto said was he had to sever ties with Red Bull Racing Academy, and apparently he did, so he's allowed
Good
to
man,
race
good
there.
man.
Because you
And
can't
then
have him be
obviously-
part of Red Bull.
McLaren sticking with their driver lineup of Daniel Ricciardo, Lando Norris. Ferrari sticking with their driver lineup of Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. And then AlphaTauri sticking with their driver lineup of Pierre Gasly, who has been absolutely outstanding the last few years, and young Japanese driver who even himself is surprised he's still got a seat next year. Yuki Tsunoda will still be driving for AlphaTauri. Look, but I think Jamie doesn't like Yuki because he's an angry little brat who just wants his way, which I can understand. That's his attitude. But one, he is a good driver. He's an aggressive driver. But I think he was very honest in an interview when they asked him, "Were you surprised that you got your seat?" He goes, "Yeah, I cost this team a lot of money because I keep crashing."
At least he's honest. He doesn't.
He's
hide like
honest
Mars a
and
bit.
humble. So will he learn? Hopefully. In the cars next year, I think he might be a little bit better. With obviously everything around him will be a little bit different. But
Yep.
look, next year will be a different year for F1s, and looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's almost like let's just get through the rest of this year. Let's let Lewis Hamilton win his next title, and let's get into that next generation car. But yeah, Monza, historic Grand Prix, hugely fast.
Temple of Speed, mate.
Yeah, Temple of Speed. If there's ever going to be a really bad incident, it's going to be at Monza, especially if it's raining. But God, we've had enough rain at Belgium, so I hope we don't get any more rain. But moving on, we all saw Brazil, Argentina, the scenes.
Absolute
From their World Cup
scenes.
qualifying.
Absolute scenes. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen on a football pitch, and I've seen some fucking fantastic things on a football
Oh,
pitch.
that was ridiculous.
The health officials right there with the clipboards. No,
3
you
minutes
cannot
after
play.
kickoff.
And the thing that I find so funny and amusing for me is, oh, you didn't say you came from England. Are you stupid? They're contracted to English clubs.
Do you
Where
watch
else would have
football?
they been? Where would have they been?
But yeah, the fact that they were in the country for 3 days, lied on their obviously documents saying that they didn't come from England. One, Romero, who is the Argentina centre back, recently signed for Tottenham in a big money move. So that's fucking public knowledge that he signed there.
Yep.
Martinez, the goalkeeper for Aston Villa, big news last year when he left Arsenal to go to Aston Villa and was an absolutely outstanding goalkeeper for them, and then comes into the Argentinian team and wins them a fucking Copa America.
Yeah, that's the one.
Giovanni Lo Celso is a very much known Tottenham player.
Edison has been the goalkeeper for City for a long time now.
No, it's not the
he's
Brazilians. They
the-
don't care about the Brazilians because they
Well,
didn't
the
go.
Premier League did, yeah.
They didn't go. It was the Brazilian. The whole thing was one. This is just them being upset that they lost the Copa America to Argentina too.
See, that's what I
Facts.
wanted to say. I think that's the whole thing that kickstarted all this and made them wait till the game started, not do it beforehand and do it a couple of minutes into the game. Is they're still hurt after losing that final.
But the thing is, do it before because then they can not literally say, okay, they can't play. You have to use other people, and then they would win that game. But no, instead they got it postponed, moved to another date when they will probably be allowed to play a full strength team.
And also, it cost the local Brazilian TV, or not the Brazilian FA, money back to the TV rights holders because they paid for that game. They didn't get that game, so they have to refund that money. So it's just it's costing Brazil more than it's costing
And
Argentina.
in that, I think that's why the Brazilian FA is trying to
Sorry, Reece.
kick up a stink and trying to force FIFA's hand and saying,
Argentina
hey,
pay.
these English clubs didn't release our players on international duty. They cannot play for these clubs for a certain amount of time, which is actually stipulated in FIFA. However, the whole thing for that is Brazil is a red flagged country in England for COVID cases,
Yep.
and you wouldn't believe it. England is a red flag country for COVID
Brazil.
cases in Brazil, which is why this whole thing kicked up a stink. And
Perfect
now,
marriage.
yeah,
Perfect marriage.
It's absolutely outstanding. So now some of the best footballers in the world are not allowed to play this weekend, supposedly by FIFA. And the thing is that 5-day ban, 5-day ban, I think is what they're implementing. Also rules a majority out of them out of European competition on Tuesday.
All it's going to take is for the clubs to go, oh no, we allowed them. We gave them the okay. Yeah, that was a rule, but we gave them the okay.
We
'Cause-
said they could go, but they didn't want to because COVID.
And Richarlison's the only one who Brazil said, no, he's fine because he played for us in the Olympics. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
Everton released him when they didn't have to.
yeah, so it's It's a whole thing. It's literally just because Brazil hates Argentina and vice versa. That's all this is. It's got nothing to do with where the players play. It's all to do with Argentina beat them in the Copa. They didn't like it. They didn't want to get beaten by them again, so they kick up a stink and make a whole fiasco and further tarnishes the image of Brazilian football.
Yeah, but yet
Well,
again,
it's basically an ongoing feud, really.
Yep.
Oh, will
oh,
always
it's
be.
the eternal feud. But
Yeah.
yet again, you can somewhat understand where they're coming from when you see what happened in the cricket in England with the 5th test between England and India being cancelled.
Good
Yep, straight up
segue.
canned. I was really looking forward to seeing how Javo would appear in this test, but unfortunately that dream is died.
Oh, mate, I'm happy not to see that again. Like, it just got sad at the end. Like, it's
Yeah, I think, as we were talking about, first one was funny.
it's
First time
like
I think it's ever
like
happened, and it
that
was
drunken
funny.
uncle at a birthday party tells that joke perfectly the first time. It's awesome. Tells it again 2 hours later. Okay.
It's still pretty
Tells
funny.
it again at the end of the night. It's like, yeah, nah, sorry,
Yeah.
you
Go
go.
on.
You're done. You're
Please
drunk.
stop.
But yeah, look,
Like,
5th test cancelled.
Yeah.
How does that fucking shine out for? We've got the Ashes coming up later.
yeah. I'm not sure. Like, I saw an interview with, I think it was Kartik, the ex-Indian keeper, and he was saying, you look at the Indian players, you've got IPL, the 2020 World Cup, and all these other tours coming up, and they've sort of been in a bubble together since May. So you look at how long they've been in a bubble together, and they had 2 physios on the tour, and the first one had already been gone down with coronavirus, and now this was the second one, and they'd only been working with the one since the first physio went down. So like they were even saying, like, people were saying, why can't they play? But you got to look at it as a physio, he's right up in the face.
Always
Everyone.
right up in their faces. In every
Multiple
nook and cranny too.
In every space there is to be in, he's probably in. So, like, is this a sign of things to come? Like, with big international tours like this, like, do we see this happening more? Does this now add justification to Australia and New Zealand getting the Rugby League World Cup postponed?
No. Just because you guys are going to win it, and if you don't go, then you don't win it. Like, no. This is England's World Cup, all right?
Yeah.
You just we can't play, so we can't have it. No.
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
No,
It's
no,
our
but
best
you know what
chance
I
to
mean.
win it.
But you know what I mean. Like, the fact that you've seen how easily it can spread. Like, you look at the bubbles that they're in over there. Like, it could potentially happen. You know what I mean? Like, is this going to be an impact on international travel for national teams for sports? Like, because you've got the rugby union going over there for the northern hemisphere tour, I'm pretty sure, in about a month and a half.
Yeah, when the championship's over.
Is that still going to go ahead now, given that we've seen this happen? Like, do you see that still happening? Like, is that going to affect that? What? And again, as you said, the Ashes coming up. Is that going to affect the Ashes happening and everything?
I mean, it shouldn't. I mean, Palaszczuk is pretty keen on getting sports stars over here.
Yeah, it doesn't even care.
Yeah, very keen on that. Not very keen on letting Queenslanders return home. But look, that's another story.
Yeah.
And you want to see, I mean, the first test will probably be at the Gabba. So the main one you're looking at is basically New Year's test and the Boxing Day test down at MCG, SCG. So there's plenty of time for us to reach that 70% vax limit, then move on to whatever that 85% one to open up international travel. So, he's just hoping that we get there. And because I've tried to hit up my mate Menes, who's a big cricket guy, about getting tickets to maybe go watch England play at the SCG for the Ashes. So, Menes, if you're watching, I know you listen to my show, so I'm still waiting to hear back from you, but wouldn't mind going to the SCG for a cricket game. Never been to the SCG before, so would be kind of exciting to actually do it. So, but yeah, I'm just sick of COVID fucking up sport in the world. Like, stop ruining it. Stop postponing major tournaments, postponing major series. Like, just fuck off already.
Leave our sport alone.
Yeah. It was the worst thing when it first hit was sport getting stopped. You know, the NRL went off, the AFL went off, everything just stopped. It was the most boring 9 weeks of my fucking life. And now we're kind of getting back to normal. You know, we can't go to games here in New South Wales, but we can watch them on TV. Don't take that away from me, please.
It's all he's got.
I'm pretty sorted. I've got the DVDs of all the grand finals.
You do have a lot of fucking DVDs.
What is
That's
it?
true.
I've got every NRL and AFL Grand Final DVD since 04.
I mean, I got Kaio, so I can just watch replays of sport that I already know the results. But we need to just figure out a way to live with the fact that COVID's not going anywhere. It's the flu, basically. It's a new flu, so
Yeah, we're
not
just
in a
going to have.
controversial way. It is literally
Yeah.
we can't get rid of it with a vaccine. It's just a more advanced version of the flu.
We just have to learn to live with it.
Yeah, control it with vaccinations like we are, and we need to sort of move forward. I totally believe it's as bad as it is, but that's why I got fucking vaccinated. But we need to understand we
Good
can't.
man.
This isn't polio. We can't eradicate it. It's just something we need to vaccine, boosters, redeveloping it, just manage it, live with it as we can because we can't keep doing this.
It's here to stay.
Yeah,
It's here to stay, but look, scientists are still working on a way to completely get rid of it, or at least very much eradicate like 90% of the thing. But look, at the moment, get your vaccines or whatever. Bring sport back. Don't let this ruin it.
I want to go to a Sydney FC fucking home game when that season kicks off in just over a month's time.
Aren't you a Newcastle fan?
I swear to God, you people.
But you definitely want to go to a Southern game.
Oh, that was
That's
one of the
what
hardest-
I've missed big time.
I was meant to go to that home game before this all started. The first one they cancelled. That was going to be my first game there for 3 months because of the way work worked.
Yeah.
And they fucking cancelled it. Like, I just.
We were
I'm
the
over
last
this.
game to be cancelled.
Yeah, we were.
How do you think I feel? I've been robbed of a championship here.
Oh, as a coach, yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't give it to you
Robbed.
because you played most of the season.
No.
Oh,
We
that
didn't
sucks.
because it's a 21 round season. We only played 10.
Oh, two midweek games behind closed doors, and you would have had it.
Absolutely. And our midweek games got washed out.
Oh, that fucking sucks. But yeah, I'm sick of COVID ruining sport.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't believe it. COVID hasn't ruined. Is the US Open?
Fairy tales.
Yeah, fairy tales.
This is what dreams are made of. The run of 18-year-old Great British tennis player Emma Raducanu. Don't put your fucking hands down. Qualifier, first ever qualifier, I think, in the US Open to make the final. She has played 9 games in this US Open tournament, 3 qualifiers before even entering the first round. And as an 18-year-old, she had an absolutely stunning run at Wimbledon on her home court. But look, gone into the US Open ranked 150th in the world, has knocked everyone off in her path without dropping a set.
That's incredible. Without dropping a fucking set.
Next year's summer blockbuster movie.
Yeah, that's an
If she wins it, it's movie.
because that's just incredible, man. Like,
And
US Open.
at 18 as well. Like,
That's the more amazing thing. It's 18-year-old qualifier. Like, she's played 3 games more than anyone else in that tournament. Yeah, because the other qualifiers didn't even make it past the second round. So it's just huge credit to her. Obviously has a massive future. Still don't think she'll surpass Ash Barty as the GOAT, but, she'll have a good career, I think.
Hey, don't say that. The Americans will get on ya.
Mate, you should have seen some of the DMs I got from some Americans about talking trash about their media coverage. Woo!
I mean, they don't like anyone disagreeing with them. Didn't you see that thing about what happened on TikTok?
No.
Someone went to Woolies and put the trolley into the.
Oh yeah, she put a
Clean
trolley
up.
away in the disinfect your trolley.
Yeah, and they were like,
thing.
"Oh, it's not a
beautiful
trolley,
shopping
it's a cart."
Who even has Woolworths these days? I'm like, no one
Everywhere in a fucking Australia, like every town in Australia.
There's more places in the US.
Yeah, like
Right.
small country towns have a fucking Woolworths. Like it's a Woolworths Metro, even though it's not a metro. But but yeah,
You know what we
Huge.
don't have? 140,000 COVID cases a day.
yeah. We're getting up there. We're 1% of it.
Close, very close. New South
See.
Wales doing bits.
Has COVID overtaken obesity over there yet?
Ooh,
Never. That thing
Never?
is undefeated. Undefeated. Never lost.
The reigning, defending, undisputed champion.
Obesity.
It's gonna well way off sport. But look, yeah, US Open final I think is actually tonight for
Yeah,
Emma
Saturday night,
Raducanu. So yeah,
Carry on
really,
your
I'm-
Saturday sessions and
we'll
watch a
probably be
Brit win
watching
the
that
US Open.
to see us crash and burn with our prediction of Raducanu winning.
Yeah, I hope she does. Who's she playing?
I can get that up for you right now.
I know Barty got knocked out by some nuffy from America. Most of the big names I think got knocked out.
I think she's playing fellow teenager
Oh wow, that's
Oh, cool.
awesome.
Layla Annie Fernandez of Canada.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
So 2 people that Americans will hate:
yeah,
a Canadian and a Brit. Great to win
absolutely.
the US Open.
It's fantastic stuff. That
That's a win-win either way.
It's a win for us. It's a win for sport in general.
Yep.
But look,
Yeah.
imagine that 2 teenagers playing in a major
Grand
final.
Slam final, man. That's incredible. One was a qualifier. Like, I hope she wins.
Is it the start of the change of the guard? Like, we've still got Ash Barty there. Ash Barty,
the
I
next
think, will be-
generation is really stepping up very
Yeah.
quickly.
Not so much in the men's, but in the women's, yeah, they're stepping in real big. So, looking forward to that. I'll be able to watch that when I get home from work tonight at some.
Well, what time will it start? Because if it's tonight, because it's
It'll
from
be
the
tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow
it'll be
morning,
about like
6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Yeah. That's all right. I'll get home from work about 3. So it's just do I just stay up and watch Premier League or go to bed and get up for it? But moving on to our last topic. God damn it, I'm struggling. Cristiano Ronaldo.
And you're sober.
yeah, I'm sober and I have to go to work. Cristiano Ronaldo makes his debut for Manchester United upon return. I wrote a blog about this. We have another one coming up today from Ash.
You wrote a poor blog, but moving on.
I thought it was an amazing blog.
I think you're an idiot.
Titled CR7 Coming Home.
And then barely spoke about CR7.
I mentioned his name and all the great things he did while not at Manchester United. But I think it's going to be an amazing game.
Well,
I think it's
to
must-watch.
to throw it back in your face, CR7 jersey sales for Manchester United have reached £187 million.
Yep.
Yeah, but the thing is, United won't even hardly get a cent of that.
I think United get about 10% of all shirt sales, which has already covered his
transfer fee, which
transfer
was
fee.
Yeah.
So
Australian, which is incredible for a player like
Yeah.
him. But
for a player that is 35 years old.
I'm excited. I don't know if they're going to start him or if they bring him off the bench. I think bringing him off the bench would be great.
Well, it's only. I'm not trying to put him down, but it is only,
it's only
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
So
But, it would still be good to get that ovation as he comes onto the field. Or you bring him
Yeah.
off after 60 minutes for
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho, maybe, something like that. But it's going to be great.
Yeah.
He looks so good in that jersey. He looked good in the Madrid jersey. He looked terrible in the Juventus jersey. If he'd come back 2 years ago before he went to Juventus, I'd be more excited, I think, because he was a far better player. He's still probably the best in the world. I just don't know if it's what gives them the edge to win the league.
yeah. Well, I'll touch on another game happening, I think tonight or at some point over the weekend, and I think we could already be lining up to see the upset for the season. Arsenal beating Norwich potentially. Do we see that happening?
That's a big call, man. That is a big
Honestly, I
call.
don't.
I think Timo Pukki's got their number. They've got so many injuries, Arsenal. This is Arteta's last game if they lose or draw. If they don't win this...
If they don't walk away with 3 points, Arteta will not be in a job on Monday.
Yep. We already heard the City fans for the City Arsenal game sacked in the morning to another team's manager.
I think they missed it. When they were singing that, I think they screwed up. The City fans screwed up when they were singing that. That was inappropriate. They should have been singing, "You're getting sacked in the Arvo."
Yeah. Sacked in 2 hours.
Like, honestly, I was talking to a guy today at work, a customer at work. Do you reckon there's a chance we missed out a few years ago on the Chelsea relegation party? Do you reckon there's a slight chance we could be getting an Arsenal relegation party?
Arsenal relegation party.
Let's put it this way: as soon as Arteta is out the door,
It turns around.
it turns around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they will not let it. And if it,
Okay,
if they
let's
sack
get a
him and it
petition
keeps-
going
gets
now
any-
that Arsenal are not allowed to sack Arteta until the end of the season.
No, let's put it this is exactly what's going to happen with the money that Arsenal have somewhere in the bank. If Arsenal get anywhere close to being relegated, they will then release COVID 2021 and shut the season down again so they can. That
they
is what
get
will happen.
anywhere near that, like if it gets to the later, like last 3 games of the season, or even the fucking January transfer window, if they're in that bottom 3 or within like 5 points of it, Kroenke will surely splash as much money as he can to get him out of it. They will have a new manager. He'll throw anything he can.
How
to
much
get
more
anyone.
does he want to splash? They've already spent the most.
Well,
Like,
he'll realize that if they get relegated, this club that's worth close to £1 billion right now, or what was it, 3 billion? The guy from Spotify wanted to pay him.
something like
Will
that.
go to
Yeah,
less than
something
$1
like that.
billion easily because you drop
Yeah.
a lot of money because you don't have TV rights anymore. You're
Yeah.
no longer Arsenal, like the Premier
Yeah.
League giants who went undefeated. You're just Nottingham Forest, who once won a
Hey,
European
hey,
Cup.
hey, hey! You're coming down with us, champ. Sheffield United are also getting relegated in the
We're
championship.
We're
How
both going
fucking
to
dare
stay in
you?
the championship. We're both staying in the championship.
How?
Wednesday's not coming up. I don't know. It'll happen.
No, Arsenal, if they go down, will do a Leeds and go down to League One, almost
my
drop to League
God, that would
Two.
be so beautiful. This huge stadium playing in League One, welcoming
No, you know what?
Tranmere Rovers.
No, you know what would be even better? That big stadium in the National League South.
Oh, Berry
Could you imagine?
coming to
goal.
the Emirates.
6-0 Berry, nil Arsenal.
Oh my god, if they, it's dangerous.
And
But
Arteta's still coaching.
yeah,
Oh, please.
the payout
To be
was
fair,
too much.
I think Arteta's best chance is to actually come out of retirement and jump in that midfield.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh,
all.
what was that photo? The picture of from FIFA of Arteta with his hands in his
forfeit,
hands.
forfeit match.
forfeit
and it's
match.
actually Arteta, yeah.
Yeah,
And then it comes FIFA in real life. It's amazing.
yeah.
Man, they got to do something because I'm glad you brought that up, Benny, because it is hilarious.
It's funny. It's funny.
Arsenal struggling.
What was it? Because watching that game against City the other week, I think I messaged you and it was like, man, City's playing crap. It's 5 minutes in and they haven't scored. Literally a minute later, they
They
scored.
scored. Yeah.
I think that message sent and they scored.
Arsenal fans were cheering that goal.
No, I wasn't, because that whole game pissed me off as well, because I had a multi on with Arsenal at least to score a goal
Oh, that's a rough call.
and Emile Smith Rowe to have a shot on target, and then Edison passed in the ball and he fucking missed.
I wouldn't be betting Arsenal to score a goal against Norwich. They haven't scored one yet. I don't know if it's coming against Norwich. Norwich is pretty good
Watch
defensively.
this game come out, Arsenal win 8-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Norwich are good for that. They're good
They
for
are.
getting absolutely battered. So
But Norwich are also very likely to come out and win 4-3. So
yeah,
See, I'd much rather a 1-0 and leave Arsenal without scoring a goal.
yeah. I would,
See,
I
I'd
would
rather
enjoy that.
Arsenal up 4-0 and then lose 5-4.
Oh, God.
they're
That
known
would
for
be-
that.
I'll absolutely piss myself.
Oh,
Norwich
would be-
doing the old Newcastle.
that would be beautiful.
Seriously,
But
if Arsenal did that, they would take over from the West Tigers as the most mean club in the world.
Wait, I think, to be fair, my favourite part about this whole thing is a lot of my mates who are Arsenal fans also support the West Tigers. They just
They
happen
can't
to be
escape
the
it.
meme clubs.
It's just,
They can't escape
that's
it.
just rough.
Cannot escape the meme.
But yeah, good luck, Cristiano Ronaldo, in your debut for Man United.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Well,
Good luck,
re-debut.
Mikel Arteta on finding a job in Spanish third division.
In about 10 hours' time.
In 12 hours time.
Getting
he'll be
sacked
out.
from Arsenal, getting signed by another Premier League club, and finishing above Arsenal with that Premier League club.
I think my favourite thing about the whole thing is everyone's already saying, all right, Arteta's going to get stacked. Who's going to take over? And the bookies, like leading the bookies is
Sam
Brendan
Allardyce.
Rodgers.
No, stay at Leicester.
And I'm like, why the fuck would he leave Leicester who
Yeah.
were doing really well?
Sam Allardyce, Sam Allardyce, Sam Allardyce.
Roy Hodgson. Roy Hodgson.
Oh, Roy Hodgson would even better, yes. Oh, Chris Wilder.
Is Adam Johnson out of prison yet?
No.
I can't sign him then.
Well, I was going to say, he knows how to score at least.
Mate, so does
Or
Gilford.
is that too far?
Knows how to get the best out of the young players.
Oh,
I'm going to end this right now. I'm going, this is it. That's enough for us at Satday Sessions.
Yeah.
You should all be ashamed of yourselves. How dare you?
What about Sigurdsson? Is he off the hook yet?
No.
Best thing to tell. That's one of Jared's favourite players back in the day.
Mate, guilty pleasures.
Guilty
I don't know what you
pleasures.
mean, guilty pleasures.
Yeah, that'll do us for Saturday Sessions for week 2. It's been pretty fun. We talked about a lot, and we've had
You
a
all
couple
disgust me.
of beverages. So, yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Maybe with a different lineup. I can't honestly tell you. So,
Can't confirm or
We don't-
deny.
yeah,
Look, the thing is, if we don't know, you don't know.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the weekend of sport. Enjoy the weather. It's fucking amazing here in the Shire. So see you guys next week, I guess.
I hate you all.
cheers.
I love you all.